truth be told, most nonprofits do not struggle to get major funding because their work isn't important. They struggle because funders don't actually trust their financial story. But before you push back, stay with me, because if you've ever argued that, but our mission is strong, or once donors really understand our impact, they'll support us. If you've always thought along those lines, then I believe this video is for you. Because today I want to break down why most nonprofits struggle to secure major funding and why are some of the reasons that they almost never get what they are looking for. And towards the middle of this video, I will share one sentence that quietly kills funding conversations every single day, and people are not aware of it. So let's just dive in. Major funders don't fund passion alone. They actually fund confidence. So they don't go asking, do you care deeply about this issue? What they're actually asking is, can this organization responsibly manage large amounts of money without things falling apart? And here is the part that we actually miss to talk about. Passion is not proof. So I've spent nearly 2 decades in nonprofit financial leadership. I have worked inside donor-funded organizations, compliance-heavy environments, and very complex reporting structures. And I've been in rooms where funding decisions were approved under 10 minutes. But I've also been in rooms where funding quietly died after phrases like, "we'll circle back," or "let us think about it." Same mission, same agency, different financial signals. And that's when it clicked for me that funding decisions are rarely emotional. They're actually financially intuitive. So why do I say this? Let's break the myth. So there's this common myth that if we do good work, funding will eventually flow. Maybe it sounds right, it sounds actually fair, but it's outdated. Today's funders don't fund potential. They actually fund preparedness. They fund organizations that look stable, predictable, and financially led. So I'm looking at some of the reasons why most nonprofits struggle to attract these big funds. So because one thing they do is that they confuse activity with credibility. You might be busy, programs are running, teams are actually feeling stretched, or they are stretched in the real sense, and your reports are being submitted. But your funders are actually asking something else entirely. They are silently asking you, can you refocus? Can you explain financial variances? Can you scale without chaos? Because busy always doesn't mean fundable. The second reason is that most nonprofit financial systems are built for survival. They are not built for scale. So these systems, they are designed to meet audit requirements, to satisfy donor requirements, and get through the year. But major funders are looking for more. Major funders are looking for clarity, they are looking for decision quality numbers, and they are also looking for financial leadership. They're not just looking for your day-to-day accounting, they are looking for how are the numbers packaged and how much sense are the numbers making. And this is where many organizations, quietly without knowing, disqualify themselves. The third reason is that boards receive financial reports, but they don't always understand them. They can't translate them, they can't explain them to funders, and they definitely can't defend them under pressure. So if your board can't confidently speak about your finances, a major funder won't either. So let me put this in simple terms. Think of your nonprofit like maybe a Netflix series. You may have a powerful storyline. You may actually have talented, very well-known actors. And there may be real relevance in your storyline. But if the production quality is weak, Netflix is definitely canceling the show. Funders think the same way. They don't just invest in the story, they invest in the infrastructure behind the story. So remember the sentence that I mentioned that I would tell you earlier. Here is it. We've always done it this way. This sentence tells funders that the organization does not adapt, doesn't anticipate risk, and may not survive growth. It sounds harmless as you say it, but financially, it is your biggest red flag. So let me tell you what funders are actually assessing, even when they don't say it loudly. First, can we trust your numbers? Not just the accuracy, consistency, and clarity. Second, can this organization absorb more money without breaking? Because more funding equals to more complexity. Weak systems, we know, collapse under growth. And the third thing that the funders are asking is the finance shaping decisions, or are they just recording history? Because when finance only reports the past, leadership is already behind. So your donors are actually asking you these three questions, and they're asking you without saying. So it's upon you to actually package your story, your financial story, in a way that the funders are able to read through this without actually sitting down with you and asking those questions. And this is exactly why I developed the organizational financial credibility method, because most nonprofits don't need another report. They actually just need financial credibility by design. So this framework operates within 4 pillars. First is the financial clarity. How do we create financial clarity? How are we packaging our numbers to tell the story, and to tell the story fast? If a funder can't understand your financial position in the first 5 minutes, you've already lost them. And the second, are we packaging our systems and our decisions and our financial reports in a decision-driven ready framework? So that report should be able to answer what's at risk, what needs attention, what decisions should leadership make now. Third, are our reporting giving the board the financial confidence that they need? Because boards don't need to be accountants, but they must be financially fluent. And then fourth, readiness to scale. Are our systems and then our reporting and is the way that we are putting our financial reports making us ready for scale? Because funders are always asking one silent question. If we double your funding today, will this organization rise or unravel? So your system should be able to answer that before they ask. And I have seen organizations move from struggling with renewals to being invited into major funding conversations. Not because their mission changed, no, but because their financial narrative did change. Same work, different confidence. So the funding environment has shifted, especially over the past 1 year post the USAID closeout. So donors are more cautious, more data-driven, and obviously less patient. So good intentions are no longer enough, and I cannot say that enough. The organizations that will thrive in this era are the ones building credibility early. So if this video made you uncomfortable, that's totally okay. Maybe that's the intention, because that discomfort usually lives between doing good work and being funder ready. If you want more conversations like this, subscribe to this channel. In my upcoming videos, I will break down how funders read your numbers, what attracts repeat funding, and how finance leaders move from compliance to strategy. Major funders aren't looking for perfect organizations. They are looking for credible ones. And credibility isn't about size. It's about intentional financial leadership. And thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.